I have to study or I have to do this, that's it. I shouldn't be married. And so one day, really, I mean, I should have heard those warnings, but one day, I was out doing a big musical all over the country, which we were supposed to do together, and Gavin broke his leg. We were doing a Love Boat in Australia. He couldn't do it. So he decided to do a play anyway in Florida and said, I'll meet you at the end of the run. And I went there, and he just sat there. He said, I want a divorce. And he wouldn't talk. I was very close to God. I loved going to church. I loved it. And so we always had a relationship with the Lord. And when people watching this say, well, how did you get into New Age? New Age churches, as they call themselves, they have enough Jesus to, and I'll tell you what really dramatically happened to me, which proves that if you're searching for the truth, you will, the capital T truth, you will find it. After he left, in my area, there's a Hindu temple. And I would go, a very quiet, peaceful place, so forth. A few celebrities were there, but very small at that time. And this one Thursday night, midweek, we were praying, or just being quiet, actually, just meditating. And they had been after me to become a yogi. And there's something in me.
Now, a yogi is?
Well, it's just, I guess, a member of that temple.
A member, okay.
And you have to take classes and things. And I kept dragging my feet, although I loved the people and so forth. But I'm sitting one night, and on their altar, there is, the middle is a picture of Jesus, and then all these gurus.
Yes.
Well, I had my eyes closed, and one of the only times in my life I actually heard the voice of God. He said, I have been with you since the day you were born. Why are you going to leave me now?
Hello.
And I never went back.
Wow.
So if you really want to find God and Jesus, you can find him anywhere.
Isn't that a beautiful story?
It is, and it's one that I don't share a lot, because I actually then sort of stumbled around, you know, with my children and myself.
Tell about the group
and then I was invited to a Bible study in Beverly Hills, and that's when I walked in, and at a certain point they said, we're all going to hold hands as we did today, and we're going to pray for somebody. Well, there I was, and I said, I want to pray for my husband. Now, when I called in my husband, we were divorced. When I called in my husband the outside, they said, would you stop it? He's off, he's out of a great life, he's living, you know, high life. Forget it. And I could not forget it. So when it was my turn, I just started weeping and crying, and one of the women there, a voice of God through her, she said, do you want your husband back? And I said, yes. She said, you can have him back. And within 6 months, he called me. Now, Gavin had,
get out of here.
He was public with, I don't want to see her again, I don't want anything to do with her. And he sold property, you know, things, we had to sell things. I was gone. And.
But I think I should tell Father.
But all I want to say for your viewing public is that if God can put this broken, wrecked marriage back together, he can do it for anyone. But you have to, see, I then found the Lord, I mean a real relationship then. And I said, Lord, you do it. But I prepared. One of the gals that I just met this afternoon here at the studio, she said she knew this story. I would set a place at the table. Luckily, my children were grown.
This is good for people to know this. Go ahead.
And living on there, my children were not there in the house then, but I was just there, and I would set a place at the table. And for Gavin, I put my wedding ring back on.
I love it.
I moved stuff that I had moved onto from his side of the bed table. I cleared all that, and the actual amazing thing is that my daughter was an actress as well, and she was home from New York, and she said, you know, I want to buy a Bible for somebody. I said, well, I'll take you out to the Bible bookstore, and we went out, and when she bought it, they said, well, we'll put their name in gold on it. And I thought, oh, that's nice. I'm going to buy myself a Bible and have my name put in gold, because I hadn't been, you know, had this relationship with Jesus that long, and when I got up to the counter, I said, no, I'm going to put Gavin's name on it.
Hello, hello.
I put his name on it, and on a Friday, And on Monday, he called me.
Isn't that something?
And you see, the Bible says, Abraham called those things
This
that
is
be
a
not.
wonderful relationship. I love this. This is
Well,
good.
people laugh at us because we're always. But now I've got the floor.
But you need to try to talk and express
Yes.
yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah.
But it's in the New Testament. Abraham, well, the Old Testament he did, but it's recalled then. He called those things that be not as if they were.
No, okay.
So if you're not married and you want your husband back, you plan for it. You know, I didn't go out with other men.
Tell him another thing when you would open the door and come in the house.
I did.
She'd say,
And I did have a little dog who I'm sure thought I was crazy. But I'd say, "Hi, honey, I'm home. The Lord just put these things in my heart." And one day,
To live in that hope.
one day I was there.
we were married a year and a half later.
Something.
And one day, I came in and I said, "Hi, honey, I'm home. Same place, same apartment." And he was there.
So let me tell you what preceded.
Whoa,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a
God.
neat story.
Well, it's not over. I'll tell you what happened. Another thing he did. The reason I called Patty, did you tell him I called you? Okay. Is coming from my background, I always thought on the wrong side of the tracks. The bigger the house, the happier you'd be.
Yeah.
So when I was away from Patty for that period, I bought the biggest house you can imagine in this area, in the woods-like area of Beverly Hills, thinking that was going to really make me happy. You know, these substitutions never work. Jesus is the only way. Anyway, so I'm in the bed, and we discover my mom I brought her out from New York, a little small Irish lady, brought her out from New York, and she was acting very strange. And we had her examined, and they discovered she had a cyst the size of a baseball inside her left brain. Do we have enough time for this?
Yeah, keep going, keep going. Okay.
And
That's the neat
so my
thing when
brother
you
and
have
I-
your own. Just keep going.
Oh, I
keep
love
talking.
that. What a luxury.
So my brother and I decided, the doctor said, we can't promise if she's going to survive, if she'll be a vegetable, if she'll be better.
Oh, wow.
So we decided anything would be better than where